Hey everybody, I'm going to make a really quick video today. This one's going to be really short and I'm not going to be doing anything or modifying anything. I just want to, it's more of a showcase of a product that I think is really interesting. It might solve a problem for some people like it did for me. And that the whole idea here is like if you have a drum set that has toms all here, or even just two toms here or whatever, but you got toms up here, your ride cymbal is going to have to be up and tilted. I mean, at the very least, you're going to have it over here to the side and tilted. So in times where I've had drum sets like that, that's what I did. You know, you do what you got to do. And it's not the most natural thing to have it up there, but you adapt, you know, and it's not terrible. I mean, you can play like that. But I mean, ultimately, if I had my choice, you know, if you take toms out of the equation altogether, what I would like is if, like, when I'm sitting at the drum set, that my ride cymbal arm is just like hanging at rest, and it's just right there, and then my snare is kind of like that. So at rest, it's just like that, and there's no reaching and whatever, and the ride would be really super close to the snare, and you could do a lot of things like really faster and without so much reaching and stuff, and so that. But like the only way I was ever able to get in like a one tom situation like this, the only way I was ever able to get the cymbal even near here, I mean, you can do like a boom cymbal stand, or like what I had before. I had a big boom arm that I clamped to that next cymbal stand there and had it up. But even then, what I always wanted from when I was really young and up, I wanted some way to have a ride cymbal mounted directly on top of my bass drum, where it was just exactly right there, you know. And since this setup will allow for that, and this tom can be sort of right in front of the snare here, it's like that. So I was using that boom arm and I was not happy with it. You can get those ones, Gibraltar makes them, and I've used them where you have to drill holes, but you mount like the little mount on the side of the bass drum, and you have the little arm that you can adjust. Those are okay, but they're going to put the ride cymbal up higher, especially on a big bass drum like this. So I was searching and searching for some kind of way to get my ride cymbal to be exactly on top of the bass drum. And then at some point, I guess I was just like shopping around on Musician's Friend or wherever, and I saw this device made by Drum Workshop. And it's this little clamp, little mount thing. I'm gonna show it to you in a minute. But they claim that it's for splash cymbals or for special effect cymbals. I don't know why anybody would want a splash cymbal right here. And I mean, especially like if you've got toms and stuff all like here, I don't know why you'd want that here. So anyway, the thing is expensive for a little bracket. You'll see in a minute. It's like $140, and nobody had bought it, and there was no, there was no reviews, and there was no question and answers or nothing. But I was looking at it and was like, I think that thing could probably just hold my ride cymbal, you know? So I sent in a question to the question and answer thing, and you know, those people who are answering the questions, I think a lot of times what they do, they just go right to the product description from the manufacturer, and they just look at that. And so I asked, can I use this for my ride cymbal? They went and read the description. They didn't see anything about a ride cymbal in it. So they just came back and said, no, you cannot. So I was looking at it still and was like, you know, I disagree. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and bought it, and it has worked fantastic for a ride cymbal. And I'm gonna take the cymbal off and show it to you, and then I'll show it to you on the website. I'll give you the part number and everything. But for people who are like me, and I know this isn't for everybody, and not everybody's gonna want this, but I think, and the way it comes where there's two sections to it. It can be taller or shorter. You know, whether you had, this is a 26, but if you had a 24 or a 22, whatever your bass drum size is, I think this would probably work for you. And it's done without boom arms and anything gaudy and ugly like that. It just mounts the cymbal right to the top, and I love it. And so that's all this video today is going to be about. It's about me raving about this product. And that if you are looking for like what I was looking for, which is this product right here, will solve it. So I'm gonna get a close up in a second, and I'll show it to you close up and take the cymbal off and show it to you, and then I'll show it to you online, and that'll be the video. Okay, here we are close up. I'll take the wing nut off, take the ride cymbal off, put it in there. And anyway, that's what it looks like. It's just, it clamps to the hoop here. It has like a hoop clamp, and you clamp that on. Has this rod here that would be for moving it in or out like that. And like I said, this was 2 rods that screw apart. The other one's gone. I've actually lost it, I think. But and then it has this little rubber tip there that rests onto the shell. It's really solid, holds the rod really well. It's not tight, and I didn't tighten it very well yesterday. But anyway, that's what it looks like. And so you clamp it onto the hoop there. You see in this one, you could adjust tilt side to side. I don't want any tilt. I like my cymbals to be flat, you know, as flat and level as I can get them. You know, I think they kind of breathe better almost. When you have a ride cymbal way up in the air and it's tilted, I really feel like it does something to the sound. It could be all in my head. But this thing works great. You know, you can tilt here. If you did want some tilt on the ride cymbal, you could do it here and tilt it, you know, that way or whatever you want. And if you use the extension, I mean, it's this tall like this, but if you use that part that I took off, it's like double that, so it would be taller. So if you had a shorter bass drum, you could make the thing be much taller. But anyway, that's it. It's 140 bucks. It's pricey, but it solved a problem for me. It gave me a solution that I had been looking for years. And they say this is not for this. And I know the person who answered it on the thing. That they don't know. But I think Drum Workshop, I think, needs to like rebrand this thing, repurpose this thing. I don't know why you'd want a splash cymbal right there or anything right there other than a ride cymbal, but it works perfectly for a ride cymbal. So I'm gonna take you over here and show you on the computer. So I was gonna show this as far as this cymbal holder. I got it here at Musician's Friend, and like I said, you know, nobody had really bought this thing, you know, for its intended purpose as they describe it. But like I had gone to, you know, if you go down to question and answers, see, I asked a question, you know, and I was like, could this not be used to hold a ride cymbal on top of the bass drum? And, you know, they were like, this is meant to hold the splash cymbal, the splash cymbal, right? So once I got it and it worked for what I wanted, I left a review, and I've got the only review. But this is it, and they don't have like a Drum Workshop, like part number. They have their own SKU, but that's like a Musician's Friend internal SKU number. But like right here, if you go to Drum Workshop's website, this is the actual part number, DWSM2141SM. And as you can see in this picture, the upper rod, you know, the upwards rod thing here comes in 2 pieces, and this screws apart. So you could take this apart, and I did. I got rid of part of it because my bass drum is 26 inches tall, so I didn't need this to come up this much exactly, you know. So I did that. But if you had like a 24 or a 22 or like whatever, if you had a 20, you know, I don't even know if it'd be tall enough. I don't even know. You'd have to experiment this for yourself. But I took these apart and used only one of them, and it worked great for my setup. Anyway, so that's it. Here it is with the cymbal back on it. And see, like I said, it works perfect. It doesn't hit anything unless I'm really wailing on it, which I hardly ever do. But this is a 22-inch rod. And like if I had a 20-inch rod, which would have moved it back some, I could pull this thing forward. Or if you had an even bigger rod, like a 24 or something, you know, and it was coming forward too much, you could scoot it back some. It's very adjustable. It works really well for this application, even though they don't say so. but I think they need to say so, because I think this thing is awesome. So anyway, I told you this one would be short. I just wanted to show people this, because I don't think people know about it. And if you were searching like on Musician's Friend or Sweetwater or whatever, searching for like things, you know, I don't know that you'd find this, because this thing is it's kind of a weird, you know, they've labeled it kind of weird. Anyway, I think it's kind of hard to find. I just happened to stumble upon it. So, but anyway, I love it, and there you go. If you want one, they all have it, and it's expensive. But anyway, I told you to be short. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.